Hey guys, it's Tartan coming at you with another episode of Total War 3 Kingdoms. The Emperor reigns. We've got quite a lot of land, we're doing lots of things, but what we know is going to happen, we're at an intern. We fought a battle, which we won, and then we went to follow up, and then that one crashed, so we're going to do it again. Zhuo, our faction leader, before we restored the Han, is still up here in the north raising horses, just being a good guy. That's what he is in this timeline. This is our good guy Zhuo campaign. He's like 73 at this point and is retired off. And now, you know, ambush doesn't work, but we have the fight. Same map as before, probably. Yeah, and we'll just deploy over, well, yeah, just away, because we'll deploy towards our deployment from reinforcements as last time, and try to do a little better with our tactics, since we know how the battle goes. I'm thinking this time all the crossbows to one flank. All the yeah, we'll just deploy back over here again as before, figuring that our guys won't ever run. And I think we like put the trebs a little low last time. Right here is much better, right? Yes. Because we had to abandon the tower last time, but this time I think we just set up here. And we'll do like a full crossbow line this way. And then we'll just have another... Yes, because of course the Protectors of Heaven, though, don't have any ranged block, and they do have the crossbows, so we can't just like sit there and take fire, but we'll figure it out. We know it's going to be a long time until they show up, because I'm not willing to engage them on the far side there. We can have these two just a little forward. That doesn't seem good, though. They'll just eat archery fire there. 2 red cav blocks and a yellow cav block. Absolutely everyone in one group. And Simi back here. It's gonna be an epic battle. But we are not gonna, you know, they're coming to us, right? We don't need to worry about coming to them. I guess we could start this line in the trees, right? None of my guys have, like, immune to effects, but if we just, so the trees will protect us from, you know, missile fire and, we can always just take the penalty on our cav, or run our generals in. All right. This looks super messy, but it's actually a work of art. No, it's because they'll come to us. We know they will. So I've got some archery abilities here, so let's go ahead and use them. Because we'll just overload the cav all on this side, and then... like, you know, using this on one Zhuo would be better, right? I think he's actually got fatigue immunity, though, so maybe that's not so good. Wow, 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 okay. Oh, she's got to get a lot closer than all that. Okay, so this is like a punch him, not an archery ability. Got it. Well, you know. Oh, it does make us worse at fighting, though. But the snow, you know... if it's going to give us lower melee evasion, is it really worth setting up in the trees? I don't think so. Well, anything else that would be fighting us there would also have a penalty, though. So that's alright. Yeah, so that's alright. Alright, now they're starting to peek out their heads a little bit here. A little bit ahead of their crossbow blocks, so we might be able to get some good shots here. We're gonna try. We're far away, but you know, we have a little bit of time. We also do have mending, which I didn't remember the last time, so this is going to allow us to get much, much more value out of them, and we can get this guy for the ranged block chance, and that'll, you know, we can, there's a lot of different ways we could play this battle smarter than we did last time. They're going to be trying to come through the trees here. They're not going to love fighting us in them, though. They have the same debuffs as we have in the trees, and of course that'll, on balance, basically make them hollow. And we'll just wait for it, And then as soon as they start opening fire with their crossbows, we'll pop this. We'll just... yeah, you know, the defenders of Hebei, they definitely have good resistance. But, you know, they're like in a loose formation. We've got AP on the missiles, but they, you know, it's not all free. And I'm still not seeing any of their arcs set up with their crossbows yet, which means, you know, good. Because if we can swoop around this side and start giving fire from that angle, and then take one heavy cav block up there. Alright, we need to spin them off. Such a big army. Alright, we need to advance here, I think. But no, I mean, soon enough they'll be within range of the trebuchets. We don't want to be fighting forward of the trebs. But maybe deploying in the woods here is an issue, but should be able to fine, yeah, because he's going to come in here and charge in, and then these are just Raider Cav too, so, you know, we're, it's a heavily favored engagement for us. They don't get their charge bonus because we're braced, and they just run off. And their fire is about to come in. I think we might have taken a little bit there, but we now have 30 seconds of the ranged invulnerability there, so we're just going to make the best of it by firing in here to the Warrior Z. Not to the crossbows. They've got 50% missile blocks, so they're actually quite obnoxious to deal with. But we've only got 13 more seconds of this, so like one more volley and then we gotta bounce. And we're gonna posture as if we're gonna charge on the crossbows here. Maybe, you know, maybe freak them out and save our guys a volley. Or maybe actually just charge in here, right? So they have spears there, but not here. And then we'll move there again, because most of their crossbows went over this way. Our guys in the woods are doing wonderfully. Our crossbows here on the hill opening up very beautifully also. We're just going to want to move them back real quick. Our heavy cav in the woods are winning every single engagement dramatically. We almost blunder our leader here, but now our cav in the back are going to be able to assist. And soon enough, the ranged fight will commence in earnest. Now we need both trebs on one Yi Vanguard crossbow. Just try to break it as soon as we can, but probably this one, because that's in a better spot. Alright, and now we just need to get around the back here. And we light up when Zhuo. He made a mistake, right? And now we're gonna move forward to meet the enemy. Our heavy infantry is doing okay over there now, but wow, okay, now they're taking my whole tower away, alas. But we are gonna be able to bring this cav block in now. They don't really have that many spears on this side. We're gonna bring this cav block around the rear. No, we're going to bring this cav block to hammer anvil in the front. That's what a gentleman would do. Sima Yi is going to run away. Block 9 is going to get in here on the commander. We just need to make sure we avoid running right into those spears, which we do. And now all their ranged, basically all of it, is right there. And we're just going to keep on firing here and here. Hit the crippling strike there, drop a mending on the blob. And then get in here, no, get in over here with the hero block and then do a roar. Cav can charge in here at the front to crumple that. Enfilade fire going wonderfully. Heavy Cav have now made contact with their crossbows, and that is clean. Yantan trying to flee. We're going to send Niefu to escort him away. Well, you know, as in many things, having done this fight before, being able to do it again, we're able to make a much quicker and better work of it. Because, you know, we already knew what didn't work, right? We already remembered how extending across wasn't going to get us a skirmish phase because of how good the crossbows were. We remembered that the crossbows were good enough we didn't want to fight them. We have our guys soaking up, you know, the problems in the woods here. And our spear guards are still heroically holding in their circle. I mean, they might not be now, but, you know, we got our... We hit him with the 1, 2, 3. Dongmin is feasting. He is so happy. You know, I was annoyed that I still am annoyed that the game crashed, that I didn't have the save for the first week of this fight. But this is a fun fight. You know, this is a great battle. Look at the bones. And here we get very good value out of the Palace Cavalry, I think. You know, whether or not they got a lot of kills, I consider it good value if they shot all of their shots. They were probably shooting into a bunch of guys with shields, you know. If you don't have good target selection, you don't have anything. Trebs get several hundred kills, feels good. These Cav are very beat up. No, they must have done some debuff ability. Like, there's no reason for him to have fallen that much. And then Dongmin's gonna roll in this way. We're escorting him off there. All over but the shouting, right? But they have more reinforcements on the other side, that's right. But they will be fleeing to the losses of the armies very, very soon. And here, the butchery of this heavy infantry engagement. Real quick, we do need to send all of the cav to mop up. Alright, but they all have guard mode on. Because if we have to fight these guys again, and we do... make it easier. It's a very big map, but we'll still probably catch a lot of these guys as they flee. And it is a thing worth doing. And with this much cav, you know, we actually can run down. Because of course, even the skirmish cav can run them down once they get there, theoretically. Not very sportsmanlike, is very effective. Look. These are rebels. They're part of a rebel alliance. They're traitors. Take them away. And now I'm like, we should heal. We should heal. This guy's on horse, so we'll ride to him. And that's Dallas. A much cleaner fight than the first time around. Actually pretty awesome, you know. Good, good, good. And we do so much better that time than the time before. Our armies will probably get almost fully replenished at the end turn. Yeah, we didn't take very much damage on the Imperial units. They might well get all the way back up. But Sima Yi might move forward, because when you win a battle, you take a little initiative step. But fortunately, most of their commanders didn't get wounded, so that'll mean in the next battle they'll have low HP. And we get an awesome glaive, so that's good. And this lady has Vanguard crossbows, of course, at this point in the game. I mean, they're still amazing. We're gonna employ her anyway, just to take their good characters away from them. Yeah, because last night, at the very end of the session, I won that battle. Not as well as I did there, and then... Because it doesn't autosave after you do it, it autosaves at the end of your previous turn, right? And I came in here, and I didn't want to auto-resolve it, because I didn't run down them as well. And basically, I just wanted to have another big fight. And then, instead what happens was I crashed the game, so we had to do the fight again. But now it's all over. Alright, we get night fighting here. Do we want Zeal or Roar more? I mean, Roar is more important. I probably took Zeal last night. And then we'll just night fight that guy off here. Simi is pleased. Actually, it probably would have been better to do the whole thing there, because when Shao could have got cut in. But hey, you know, save him for later. She levels up and gets this pursuit thing, which makes her quicker, jump higher. No, it probably would have been smarter to send him that way. It's alright. And accordingly, now we're across the water, right? Like, we are good. We've got it made. And we can take an A next turn. And even if he goes here to try and reinforce it, oh, he got trucked on. Oh, Zhang Fei, my man, Zhang Fei and Guan Yu and Guan Yinping. Oh my goodness, look at her. I have got to play Shu next. Okay, she's glorious. Anyway, this is the coolest army ever. And then they had Zhuge Liang alongside, so it looks like they jumped into the water here at Dong and then smashed up Gongsun Zan. Beautiful stuff. Really, really great performance from Liu Bei there. And maybe Yuan Shao as well was involved, because he, you know, he doesn't look like he's in too happy of a position. This is great. What a wonderful Northern War this is turning out to be. And of course, we're rolling up Wu, you know, steadily rolling along. And we may be able to meet Sun Jian right here. Here, although we greatly outmatched them, we are doing the battle. He, after all, is the sovereign. The sovereign of so-called Empire of Wu. That outrageous. There can be only one. And it will be me. And then we'll end up right beside them. Good, good, good. Trebuchets will fire in. They won't have any choice but to fight. Come and fight. Come and die. The father and daughters Lu are ready for you. And, you know, Wu is just trying to go through what they thought were their own lands. What a year ago should have been a safe place for them to go. But he, you know, he broke the compact. And we will just burn the forest down around them. Inch the Trebs forward. They're like, hidden units in ambush? Well, yeah, but not for me. Call an ambulance. Ah. Now they fight. We're just going to charge the Empire Cavalry into him, reasoning that if we get our charge bonus off, then that's all we need anyway. And in any case, sitting there and letting him hit us didn't seem great. And it works. Of course, Imperial Palace Cavalry are armored and evasive, in addition to being purveyors of accurate crossbow bolts. Anybody want a duel? Oh, right, we can do this. We can lock him down with the Fatal Attraction. I just got this ability. And then we send in Lu Ji for the kill. He can't move for 6 more seconds. And the Daughter of the Dragon cuts down the Pretender. Hongai flips out and challenges her to a duel. Very well, I accept. And here we need to throw a lament onto our girl and be like, no, what if something happens to you? Just damsel it up. And then, of course, we'll throw that down, too. Wisdom of the River, you know, and then Lu Ji will have cut down basically everybody in Wu. Hey, Luke. What is... Yeah. You know, he declared himself emperor. It's not like this was a warlord who was rebelling thing. Maybe we could release him. In the interest of trying to secure his abdication. I mean, this is, after all, Lu Bu and Lu Ji. Like, they're not, like, ruthless. Like, you know, they just like to brawl. And they quite like Sansa. He got Dong Bai out of their hair, right? She was too successful. Yeah, maybe we can keep him around. Yeah. I mean, also because, like, Sun Xuan's in with us, and we want Sun Ren to marry the Emperor, so maybe the Emperor will be a little cooler about it. Like, maybe it was a misunderstanding, you know? Maybe he was getting bad advice from his strategists. Hopefully he'll hand over the Imperial Seal when we win the battle. Yeah, I guess in the interest of securing his abdication, we'll release him. For that is the desire of the Emperor. Gangtezan, yeah. The only real thing is, like, whether or not we pardon Yuan Shao in the event that we grab him. Because it's not like he was ever, like, a particularly good servant of the Emperor, you know. Yeah, in this timeline. We're going to swap the Saber Militia for more Imperial Palace Cav. You know, they don't do the job of locking things up, but, hey, they have 1 million more HP, and we can just use them to run in as light cavalry, even though they're not light at all. Even though they're not light at all. Well, you know, they'll just do a different job. Plus, I like the crossbows. And the better you set up your troops, you know, the less it matters any of that. Ah, Yan Baihu trying to get home somehow. Well, let's see how that works out for him. Yes, let's. Ma Chao's ambush works because we pull Liu Bao in to take this iron mine. You know, we let him take it, and then, with his army stationary, we can run across the water and grab it. Join me, Hong Chong! Join me! He doesn't want to join me. Alas. And best and most successful girl continues hanging out here. Yeah, we're just gonna... Yeah, this is all my land here, so we'll just run up this way. Yes, 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 yes. A reform? Wow! just gonna get more money, not like we need it. But it's still nice to have. But yeah, so look, I don't know if you were around whenever. So Gongsun Zan got beat up by who, you wonder? An army composed of Zhangfei Guan Yu, look at her, Guan Yunping, and then Zhuge Liang hanging out over here, and then they totally tune him up. Just in time for these 4 armies to be here. Like, what a wonderful vassal. What a great guy. Rolling it up. Of course, we have Liu Biao to worry about.
好的，请讲。
Like, we're really close to it, but because at this level it could be like a misunderstanding, right? You know. Because really what happened was one of his vassals attacked one of my vassals, so I had to, you know, put the beat down.
真是浪费时间。
And, you know, maybe they didn't have enough food. And if I'm not mistaken, part of proving you have the mandate of heaven is making sure that the people are fed, because otherwise, you know. Yeah. You know, a symbolic grain of rice is hardly a disadvantageous piece with someone who is a real gentleman of the Han for so long. And also, I didn't want to deal with any more of it at that moment. That'll free up all of our vassals, right, to stop fighting his vassals and such. And, or at least, you know, to stop worrying about him and then being able to deal with the real threats, people who are declaring themselves emperor. It's not like the existence. Don't be surprised if they try to hit us again. Well, you know, in the event that they do, well, I don't think that's going to happen. Perfection. Perfection. Liu Bei confederates Liu Biao after we get peace. Isn't this a great story? You know? Liu Bei's like, hey, runs over there. He's like, are you joking? Liu Yuan? Yeah, baby, we can make this work.
如此甚善。
With a little bit of coercion. Oh, that's right. We got that dude's weapon. Sweet. Big old weapon. Nothing like a big old weapon. And he, of course, will be a very reliable vassal. Well, I mean, as long as he's alive. We don't know what the personality of the next guy will be. But there'll be no one to bother him, and he's peaceful, so I hardly think he'll be rebelling. There we go. And yeah, these guys are very strongly negative, but don't imagine the Zhongli must work, yeah. And in any case, you know, they've got, you know, most of Shu there. We could give them the assault works to make them, you know, more complete, but I think, you know, whatever. Best girl continues rolling upward. And we pursue the forces of Sun Xian as he goes through. Time to make these into Palace Cav. God, I love this army. It's like, I'm not sure where he thinks he's going to be able to get to run away to, but the walls are closing in on him here. Fortunately, we're a generous god.
无之妙计，算无一策。都放了吧，谅他们不敢造次。
I'm like, oh, I'm right here on this. Army gets very beat up there. Now Xiahou Dun is right next.
看压他们，只能消耗我军辎重，攻占此城正合我计。
Check for abdication just to make sure. Will do, will do. Okay, yeah, and now we can quite easily move up here to resupport. Man, this campaign map is so good, right? Like, I think whenever geography created China, they thought, this will be really good for a campaign map someday. We'll just do, like, some mountains and some rivers. We'll create some natural choke points. We'll have a bunch of gate passes in a row. That'll please people, you know? And then one day they'll get to make a Total War game about it. That's how I imagine the formation of the world went. And if you know any differently, I don't want you to tell me. I want to have this. I want to believe. Yeah, no, it's not that accurate, but it works really well. They kind of compress the realities of what it's like to be close to a river, right? But, you know, the more accurate you make a game, you run the risk of making it not fun anymore. And wow, look at that. Father-daughter running through the lands. Doesn't it just inspire you? Doesn't it make you think that this is where we're supposed to be? It does. It does.
思维迅捷，则可避其锋芒。对此加以利用吧。 天下，绝不留情。这样行不通。为了天下和睦。
Right, yeah, that's right. They don't have siege engines, so we're gonna need a different army to do that. Earthen Rampart, good, good, good. Oh yeah, that reminds me. This guy can take this phoenix's beak.
违令者斩。
Poor Tongmin with a totally regular weapon.
淹没他们！快快攻击！
I don't feel like it. I only have like 20 more minutes to play. I just don't feel like it, right? It has Bastion artillery. I just don't feel like it. I'm sure it would have been a cool fight. Just there we go. It says he's temperamental and fiery, but is that really that bad? It says he's unobservant, but what that really means is he's willing to let some things go. They call him a greedy tyrant, but what he's greedy for is for the good opinion of others. And if he has any flaws, it's that he cares too much about the well-being of the people. Sometimes he just doesn't let the taxes go in, but he doesn't take them for himself. He's too greedy for the praise. Okay. I was like, we're We're gonna go all the way around, but we can still reverse and march onto the land. There we go.
挽弓欲射，则屏息凝神。山脉所至，必在于土。
Our vassal having rebellion problems. Disappointing.
别来无恙啊！
But if we give him food, is he just gonna need more food later? Well, that's no reason not to give it to him.
祝足下好运。别来无恙。如此小小举动，可使你我关系更加牢固。 正在行进。
Probably should have got on the river. Definitely should have got on the river. It's all fine. It is fine.
不想听你废话。
-7, not too low. We are highly respected, you know, so. And Sun Quan will be able to fight Sunrun next turn and say, come on! The Emperor says he'll give you a really good horse. I mean, that he thinks he loves you. Look at the bottom value, got it. Dongzon has come of age. Really close, yes. Alright, so here we have to take this. We can't catch our sister because the architecture, the geography gets in our way there.
此处已被我军占领。
We're very beat up, but they can't hit us, so we can just stay here. Right, right. He's encamped here. He knew he couldn't escape, so instead he bravely encamps. And Lubu, he explodes in a puff of cherry blossoms.
要这些俘虏也没用。放了他们，让他们牢记我的大恩大德。
In recognition of our long years as friends. Because Cao Cao had spent many long years as our enemy and never ever wanted peace, basically, until we, you know, speared it out of him. We gave him the Great Halberd of Understanding, as they call it.
为了天下大业，开战！
开战！
没什么好谈的。
Boom, baby. Should have saved it first in case the game crashes.
我方接受你的提议。
And that's all it took. And the seal, yes. And look at the money now. Because our corruption reduction is so good broadly. Makes it fine. Alright. And now, all is right. And you know what that means? It's time for a beautiful wedding. What a beautiful wedding. Joyous day. Sunrin will ask the Emperor to marry her. You know, that's she's the one who says it. She's like, hey, I know people think we won't get along, but we will. The Empress Sun. Like, I have no idea where her ex-husband is at, but let me find him. He's not part of this faction. Alright, perfection.
悉听尊便。大人到此，蓬荜生辉。
大人，有话直说。属下在此。
有何吩咐？大人，有何吩咐？
有何吩咐？
Yeah, you know, that's, when you look at our network of like, loyal vassals and ourselves, like, what a great run. And you know what else is great? Zhuo can proudly receive the news of all of this. He's 72 years old. He's been raising horses, and, like, because, you know, he must have been a little worried whenever he handed it over to the Emperor, you know, like, did he do well enough in setting a good example for proper stewardship of the people? You know, he's the Emperor, you can't stand in his way, but, you know, he still wants to feel like, you know, the world was a better place because of him doing it, and now he can be assured of it, you know. The virtues of mercy, the allures of power, you know, and the Emperor's navigating all of them perfectly well. Shao Duan sees the light and joins up. With the Sunrin marriage to his nephew. Oh yes, yeah, because of the yeah. The Imperial Uncle. Oh, and that's right, and that means. I'm like, we can make somebody else the... But, you know, Dongmin, he's a good heir. He's another Imperial uncle, you know. And, like who else could it be? Dongbai. I mean, why am I laughing? No. We don't need to worry about the heir for many years. We'll just hang out here. I'm sure the reasonable thing to do will present itself. Like, man, it's about to be a straight party in the Han, though. Like, these fools in the north are really gonna wish that they...
今日还有何妖言？ 我还以为你
Like, you're at war with basically everybody that matters anyway, but... Well, he doesn't think he needs to abdicate. We'll put that to the test.
势如狂澜。
Now here we need Liu Bei to get a foothold on this side. 'Cause otherwise we can't, you know, well... He'll still want to do it, but... Yeah, we'll just sit here, and then we'll be able to support his attack in the event that he makes it.
柔以克刚，怒吼吧！
He'll hear him. Oh, yeah, that's right.
摧垮他们！进攻！不敢苟同！杀呀！我们的智略更胜一筹。此地正合我等计策。
Clean. Oh, well, you know, pretty good. Gong Tuzan escapes up here, but now Sima Yi can see him, and what Sima Yi can see, Sima Yi can kill. I keep forgetting to do the faction council thing. I wish there was a, never in my life have I wished for additional turn blocker stuff at the bottom, but I really wish there was one for the faction council to remind me. But, I mean, if there's one for tech, there's also one for faction council, right? But...
平息战乱，怒吼吧！敌无良谋，须臾可破。正用得上此城。
42k. Wow, wow, wow. I guess probably a lot of stuff finished up, too, and then, you know, obviously the Wu lands. Some of them have to be worth something. I don't know. I'm like, no, it's mainly all my places in the north that we just finally paid off with, yeah. Well, you know, that makes sense. They have the administrators, and we've had the longest time to upgrade them. But it just goes to show that you were right, Luke. Building buildings is good, actually. Man, I'm glad I finally got over that. Man, imagine my Liu Bei campaign if I would have actually built stuff. My corruption is... without administrator, 21. Totally fine. Most of my places that build the buildings, we have the admin, and then we also have the building for negative 10% corruption.
烈火燎原，开战！深思熟虑。
The, because, you know, you get the, in the industry path. And I always figure the 10% lower corruption is probably worth a little bit more than the 10%, or the 100 higher industry, but maybe the math doesn't always work out that way. And if you're in a smaller place, obviously that would be better, but... And now we are called to serve with the Imperial Army once more elsewhere. And the heroes of the Han, father and daughter dragon, and the most distressful Wynant, will go to the north to put the pretender Don Sun Zan to the torch. And Dogma's just gonna keep on taking over the world.
遇事三思，其志
Just gonna be like, hey, how'd you guys do? I did great.
Shao 到此为止了。一个都不放过。
恢复原样，全力奋战，天命在此。大势已定。
It's like people would just walk alongside dozens and dozens of tigers.
时局变动，戡乱讨逆。
I'm starting to think that Sun Sin might become a good fighter if he's willing to apply himself. Most of the people here are pretty good at fighting, but a lot of them don't sit on their horses quite right. Sit up straight on your horse, I keep on telling them. But nobody wants to listen to me.
难以达成。
I want an elephant. Have you ever heard of a golden elephant? I want a golden elephant, Daddy.
见识一下我们的激情。
Man, this has been a blast of a campaign. I'm actually super psyched. This mod is wonderful. Because, you know me, I like female characters anyway. And, having more factions that have access to a bunch of cool ones is just a pure good in my book.
出发，拿起武器。
And, like, I'm so excited to play Shuhan again with the expanded cast of characters. Like, oh, that's so awesome.
正需此地。
It's like we'll be able to have the daughters of the Oath of the Peach Garden all in a thing together, you know, and good stuff. Hanging out with, I don't know, maybe Peng Tong, maybe with maybe Kong Min himself, because he's younger, you know, he could be part of the crew, part of the ship. And these fools get mopped up. And like, just what a fun campaign too. And then, you know, we finally got elephants in a Han campaign, and we actually used them a couple times. And wow, oh wow, are they fun, aren't they?
吾等需要精兵良将，看压他们只能消耗我军辎重。
Dude, if the dream is just to get them kind of early, right? You know, you're playing like Wu or something, you get them kind of early, and then you get to use them against people all the time. Because the thing is about Nanmen, which is interesting, is they're actually pretty solid against elephants, because they have all those slingers that don't do good armor damage and don't have a ton of ammo, but they do like a lot of rate of fire and dump like lots of low armor piercing in, which is really good against elephants. For the sake of theorycrafty, what kind of general would be best to have elephants one? Commander, I'm pretty sure, because you want to ignore forest penalties and then get movement speed in the retinue.
定乱安民。
Like, do we have a generic one to look at? Yeah, because you get mobility, but does red get mobility? Yeah, red gets mobility also. I think just yellow, probably, to give them higher morale. It's melee cavalry. You know, sentinels, you get ignore force penalties, and you get there's one other one that's beneficial there. No, that's just the melee evasion for them. Yeah, you get charge speed, which could be good, but there's probably ways to get that otherwise. But yeah, no, I think just commander, because you have higher authority, and then just the morale is, I think, the biggest thing. But, like, charge speed, very good. Because, like, Strider and charge speed is the biggest things you get there. Or force penalty, not quite Strider. Ignore snow would be very good indeed on those elephants. They, you know... I guess that's a problem, too. If you're bringing the elephants up this way, you run into a bunch of snow. Well, eventually. Alright, alright.
拉弓之时需屏气凝神。开战！快去！进攻！拿起武器！拿起武器！怒吼吧！
Dongmin, content to let Sima Yi wisely lead the armies to victory. Just following him around. Also, Sima Yi has the siege weapons. And he's super, super beat up, but at least, you know, they're getting better all the time. It's kind of, you know, look at the attitude map. People like me. So you don't imagine this campaign lasting more than 2 more years? Yeah, probably not. Hey, a most beautiful horse. He raised a wonderful white stallion. Good guy Dong Zhuo doing great. Hopefully we can win while he's still alive. Yeah, we've got to have it between our vassals and all. Like, we've got to already have it, right? Like, what else is there in China but what we have?
天命无常，我亦安然受之。
秩序井然，则四海可定。
拿起武器，开战！
And not least, like, because after we're rolling this up too, our vassals, which are numerous, have nothing to do with their time except fight our enemies, which are, you know, disappearing with the day. And of course, the fact that all of our armies are, like, more or less my template for generic fighting, you know, here. Without the huge replenishment, because I would just swap all the Onyx Dragons except for one, unless we were fighting Nonmen, for Imperial Pala crossbows. Or Imperial crossbowmen, but... Here, we roll this up. Ain't nobody got time for that. Oh yeah, Kongrong will be there too, so soon enough.
释放怒火，消灭敌军，尽情厮杀。国军如有天助，气焰大盛。
Being fighting them has been very useful. Oh yeah, like there were a few of those battles because you know they have 100 charge bonus, right? Like if you actually like maneuver them around, they have 100 charge bonus and 60% melee evasion. Like they don't run either. They're much better than a G militia. Like it's hard. I'm like, oh, he's besieged it. Good. My ally totally showing up for work.
快快攻击！不，平定天下。杀呀！摧垮他们！做好准备，马上攻击！
There's been a couple, like, really wonderful fights in this campaign, for sure. Hey, Shenyu!
为了天下，此地正合我等计策。潮起潮落，凭据实。
But y'all done messed up now. That's right, the dragons are here. And Zhuo Yuan, the grand beauty of Han. Well. Dragon, Dragon Saturn, Dragon Swinehand. Indeed. And here, we'll just back off. I do not have time for this, unfortunately. This will be the start of the next video. I have got to get on with my day. I have an imperial wedding of my own to attend. My friend's not an emperor, just a guy, a good guy. You know, he doesn't rule anything. I wouldn't be friends with somebody who did. But they're fun to play in video games. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Really hope you've enjoyed. I'll be back on later tonight, probably to roll up this campaign. Definitely to roll up this campaign. And I can't imagine we can string it out too much longer. I don't feel like painting the whole map. We're not too far off from it, but, you know, it's more fun to do that the first time than it is the subsequent times, probably. But what a great campaign. Hopefully we can finish it before Zhuo falls to the ravages of old age and winter. But, you know, even if not, he'll be able to rest easy in the earth knowing that he did a great job. And maybe they'll build a big old statue of him made out of copper and bronze too, maybe. But not everybody who has a statue made out of them is a good guy. As the 24 Han Emperors. But anyway, I will see you later on. It is 10 minutes after I wanted to end, but I gave myself like 15 minutes extra for every schedule block for getting ready for this. I'm really bad at doing things on time. Anyway, see you guys later.